We all know how intimidating the high holidays can be. Rosh Hashaná, the first day of the Jewish New Year, is a day of judgment. It's a day when God Himself comes down into the world and spends it with us. Like any important day, we need time to properly prepare. The month before Rosh Hashaná is called Elul, and is considered the time to prepare for the high holidays. However, if you look closely at Elul, you find something very strange. The rabbis teach us that Elul is an acronym for Ani L'Dodi V'Dodi Li. I am for my beloved, and my beloved is for me. Really? I figured Elul would stand for, you better get your act together before God zaps you on Rosh Hashanah. I mean, I am for my beloved sounds like a line out of a romantic novel. This isn't the time for love. This is the time for fear. Judgment Day is coming. Why are the rabbis prepping us with love? Let me tell you a story. I have a friend who is an executive at an investment bank. His job is to travel around the world helping companies raise money. He's rarely in the same country all week. One day I bumped into him and he looked a little off. You okay? I had a rough night. What happened? Charlie, you're lucky. Your kids are still little. Wait until they get older. What happened? So he told me. He said, you know me, Charlie. I'm always traveling. I was supposed to be in China this week, but my trip got canceled and I was able to catch an earlier flight home. I came home and my teenage son was still up. I popped my head into his room to say hi. He barely acknowledged my presence while texting, talking on his cell, and video chatting at the same time. Well, for some reason I couldn't sleep that night, so in the middle of the night I went downstairs to get a drink. On the way down, I overheard my son talking on the phone. He said, man, I hate it when my dad comes home. I mean, when he's away, I can do anything I want. But when he comes back, I have to watch my curfew, the smell of my breath, my hiding spots. I just wish he would get back on the road already. He said, Charlie, when I heard that, I almost fainted. I mean, I spent my whole life trying to provide for my family. You think I want to live in an airport? And my own son hopes that I'm not around? I mean, at 16, I would think that he would at least realize that my asking about his life is not for my benefit, but for his. I stood in silence. I had nothing to say. He continued. He said, you know, Charlie, like I said, you're lucky. When your kids are little, as soon as they hear your key in the door, they come running. You open the door to little pitter-patters and then, Daddy's home! No matter what went on in your day, everything is right with the world for those few brief Daddy's home moments. On Rosh Hashaná, the new year, God comes home. He comes close and stays with us for a few days. And before we get into the sophistications of rules and judgments and prayer, the question we ask ourselves is, do we even want him home? I mean, do we like when he's around? Or is it just a time when we have to watch what we do, feel guilty that we didn't do more, or lay low until he gets back on the road? I mean, when his key hits the door on Rosh Hashanah Eve, do we get an excitement that Daddy's home? Or is it, here we go again? The rabbis, keenly aware of how quickly we forget that any rule, law, or custom is not for God's benefit. I mean, He's all good, but it's for ours. Start the prep month with a surprising but important message. I am for my beloved, and my beloved is for me. Yeah, love. It's about love. It's about our relationship to God, and if we're not looking forward to Him coming, well, love. Now is the time to start to rebuild the relationship. Now is the time to think about how much He gives us. Now is the time to appreciate just how amazing a real relationship is with the Creator of the entire world. We're not perfect. We all know that. But we get excited to see our Father in heaven, to spend some quality time with Him, to share our lives with Him. Can you think of a better way to start Judgment Day?